Yo, what's good? Big Z here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is my remake of Miss Jackson by Pupils. They have a really cool and unique sound. As always, all the presets and MIDI files will be linked down below. So I'm going to start with these main chords here. Here's what they sound like by themselves. And the reason they sound so funky is because most of them are 7th chords. So 7th chords just generally make a chord sound way funkier. So the main notes in any chord are the root note, the 3rd, and the 5th. So to make a 7th chord, you just add a 7th on top of that, and it makes it sound a lot funkier. I use 7th chords a lot in my tracks as well. So I remade this sound in Synth because the saw waves in Synth sound a little bit different, I think, than the saw waves in Serum. And it seemed to me like he was using Synth when he made these chords. I'm not positive, but that's what it sounds like to me. So this preset will be linked down below. But anyway, in oscillator A, it's just a saw wave here with 7 voices of unison with some detune on it. In oscillator A2, it's another saw wave with 7 voices of unison, just pitched an octave above that. And the volume on this one is a lot lower, so it's not that noticeable in the mix. And then over in part B here, we just have some white noise to add some crisp high end to the sound. So then I just have all these oscillators running through this low pass filter here with the cutoff set to this point. And here's the envelope I'm using to modulate the cutoff right here. So I made the attack a little slower here to give the chords that bouncy feel. And then I put a really short decay and sustain time on there so they pretty much end right away, right when you take your hands off the MIDI chords. So that's why they have that short bouncy feel. So it's a really simple sound overall, but it sounds great with these types of chords. It sounds great in all their tracks. So for effects on this sound, I just have some chorus within the synth itself. Then I'm adding some OTT here. Then I have an EQ that's really just cutting off the low end, making room for the bass. Then I have some multiband compression after that. That's just suppressing some frequencies around like 3700 hertz. So now let's get into the bass sound. It's a pretty simple sound as well, but it's a cool bass and it sounds really funky and kind of retro. My favorite part is this little bass fill. And this one is another silent sound, and all this one is just a saw wave, 1 voice of unison, with the octave set at -1. And I have a low pass filter on this one as well, which I'm controlling with this envelope down here. I'm just giving it a little bit of decay, no sustain. The attack is all the way down, and I'm giving it a little bit of release as well. So it's pretty much just a really short and plucky, straightforward saw bass. And the only external effects I have going on this bass are Wave's Renaissance compressor that's just compressing it a little bit with the attack set to about 20 milliseconds. And then I just have some EQ kind of rolling out the highs a little bit. So now I want to show you one of the coolest parts of the drop, which is the synth slide that sounds like this. And all that is a straight square wave in Synth, and it's a square wave with 7 voices of unison and some detune on there, and another square wave that's an octave up from that with 7 voices of unison and the same amount of detune. And what I did was put the bend range down here at plus 24 semitones. What that allowed me to do was go into my piano roll here and go to the pitch bend section, and then I'll make this bigger so you can see it. And that way I can draw in the exact pitch bend I want. So I'm basically starting at an octave below where the MIDI notes would usually be playing. So it's going up an octave until it hits the 0 mark, and then it's falling all the way down from the 0 mark down 2 full octaves at the end of the chord. So it sounds cool to have a pitch bend synth fill like this to keep your drop more interesting. So anyway, I'll play the full track again at the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching this one. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Spotify below. Other than that, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.